it is time to look through this morning's papers, and I'm delighted to say that Ebbs Akintade joins us this morning, someone I've known for a very long time, who, by the way, has outdone us, spectacular fashion with your Christmas get-up.
Well, you know, I was given the memo yesterday evening. Ebbs, you've got to make sure that you turn up the Christmas when you.
We can't really see the rest of your jumper, but that hat on your penguin is really quite something.
It's squidgy. I've already had a feel.
It is a squidgy hat on my chest. It gives me additional
powers.
Cleavage.
It certainly does give you cleavage.
It does. Thank you.
I was going to say you look sensible as well in your reindeer antlers.
As sensible as I can do.
Yes, well,
Love it.
Sensible as ever.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, pleasure. Right. So the paper's really interesting mixed bag, isn't it? Across the board.
It is an interesting mixed bag. You can tell Christmas is coming as the papers become lighter in terms of.
They've all gone home.
They've all gone home. They've left the building. Let's start off with the serious, with the. Unfortunately, the migrant crisis.
Yeah.
This comes on the back of the fact that horrendously 4 people died.
I know.
In a boat coming across to this country in the English Channel. Absolutely horrendous. So the government is saying that they're making it an absolute priority to tackle the migrant crisis, especially next year, 2023. Rishi Sunak has apparently read 400 pages of reports to identify key problems. They're saying all the right things. Suella Braverman, the Home Secretary, is making all the usual claims to make sure that those who have no right to be here must be returned home swiftly. That's the big quote. And yes, this is the government doing what it does. And of course, this migrant crisis is essential because we cannot dealing with this crisis is essential because we cannot have people dying in the Channel continually, month in, month out. It's horrendous thing to happen.
It is. It's a humanitarian catastrophe, actually.
Yeah.
And of course, they're lured here anyway with the belief and promise of a better world by people smugglers, and it really is desperately sad. But just in terms of the numbers, I mean, obviously the government has been overwhelmed. I think it's one of the biggest electoral issues coming into the next general election.
No, definitely.
If they don't get a grip of this, they'll be in serious trouble.
Yes.
They will be, and I think this is one of those key factors that they've got to focus on. You know, this year the government has had too many personal crisis, as we all know, that has kind of distracted or detracted from what we should be focusing on in terms of making life better for people. You know, it's all very well talking about this MP and this crisis and this affair, and that's not important. These are the actual key facts. So if we can focus on this, if they can be seen next year to actually lessen the crisis, that would be an amazing turnaround for the government, because
it really would.
There's not many things that they can do which is going to look particularly great for people to go, this is a good government we've got.
I mean, certainly just in terms of when they outlined all of this policies, I think it's a 5-point plan. And essentially the crux of this is Albania will be put on a par with safe EU countries, this small boats command would be established and so on. We've heard it all before, and I kind of think we need to actually see it in action to see whether they will actually deal with it. There's also an article in the Telegraph this morning about Suella Braverman, isn't there? And essentially saying that she's pushing back very hard on the ECHR, and I think Rishi Sunak isn't quite there. So essentially saying that they don't want the ECHR basically complaining the whole time and advising and basically taking legal action against the UK trying to deport illegal immigrants.
Look, they're dancing around this ECHR, and they have been now for about a year, haven't they? You know, there's hard talk and then nothing happens. And probably without making some changes to the ECHR, they are never going to sort this. And you're right, if they want to sort it, and it's the only chance they have of being elected again, they have to do something about those laws. We cannot have judges in, Strasbourg, just overriding our law. But having said that, you know, when the judges did override our laws, there was only one person left on that plane, and everyone else had been taken off by our own lawyers in our own courts. So
that's a great point.
Yeah, so it might not all be the ECHR. We may need to look at what's happening at home.
And just in terms of this, I mean, my feeling is certainly the public are, you know, everyone's feeling very squeezed. Obviously, it's a humanitarian crisis, but also just the cost to the country every single day whilst they don't get a grip is extraordinary. I mean, what is it? Something like £7 million a day?
It is indeed huge. But then we talk about all these strikes, you know, even with border force staff. So you're thinking, well, I wonder what impact that might be having on the crisis.
Well, so that's really interesting. You know, we talked about the armed forces, 1,200 of them replacing ambulance and border force. That's going to cost £5.6 million, and I don't really understand why it costs that much money if you're redeploying.
So it's probably cancelling leave, isn't it, and overtime pay.
I think you're right. I mean, so again, yet more money racking up. It's just more
hemorrhage in money.
It does. I mean, for the government, and 5 million is neither here nor there, but to the rest of us, it's a lot of money.
But when it's 5 million or 6 million or 7 million every single day of the year,
plus the 7 million, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, then it does become.
Well, I did the maths on that. So 7 million a day is 2.5 billion a week.
Wow.
Yeah.
We're talking big numbers.
We really are.
A year.
I'm sorry, a year. A year, sorry, not a week.
I'm going to say, look. Yeah. That's funny maths.
No.
That's your week.
2.5 billion a year.
A year. It's massive.
It's a massive amount. Imagine what you could do with that.
Imagine how
money.
many nurses could be employed.
Well, that's the point,
yes.
isn't it? Yeah. So are you convinced that Suella Braverman and Sunak and the Conservative Party will actually get a grip?
I'm open mind. Open mind. This is a brave new world that we're in under Rishi. I say brave and I say new. It's probably not brave and
not that new.
Oh, not that new. But you've got to give them the benefit of the doubt, because what alternative have we got? These are who we've got leading our country. It's not 40 days of Liz Truss. This is going in 44 days. Sorry,
it's almost biblical, that 40 days of Liz Truss, isn't it?
On a Sunday. But I'm giving them a fair chance, and I think we all have to. And this will be a real test to see whether they can actually reverse the migrant crisis. It would be amazing if they do. It would mean that they're worth something.
So just interesting and politically, when you say that, for example, when I say I think we need to get on top of the immigration issue, many people kick back on that. They say that actually it's because you don't care. It's because, we are trying to look after our own. I really refute that, actually.
It's modern day gaslighting, isn't it? It's like when a partner says to his partner, "Oh, it's because you're crazy." That's what it is. It's the weaponisation of language, which is the new way of debating.
Yes, you see it on Twitter all the time.
You do, don't you?
What,
yes.
You mean you don't believe in human rights? I mean, come on. It's so that you can't argue back. And it's not about that. It's about caring about people in the UK who are sleeping on the streets. As I drove in this morning, there were mattresses with people on lying in doorways, and it was -3 last night. So it's about looking after people here. In an ideal world, of course, we would look after everyone. But right now, I think charity should begin at home.
I know. Wouldn't it be wonderful if you could take all those veterans off the streets, those people who are really facing hard times, who are lying on the pavements, and put them in hotels and actually then rehabilitate them and give them help?
Yes.
If they want it.
Yes, if they want it. I agree.
That is a good point.
Because, because I did a whole thing on that.
No, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, some people
and it's so complicated.
Yes, so many layers. Yeah,
so many layers. Right, shall we move on to the Telegraph? So
yes.
This is what? Economic downturn. This is about what? Middle-class parents saving money.
You really can't read your writing,
I can. So this is about prep schools.
This is about prep schools, and it's the fact that the first thing, the first thing to go when it comes to financial crisis is the fact that prep schools, when parents who are from middle-class backgrounds, they can't actually afford all the other things that go into prep school means. So, all the school trips, all the additional things.
I see what you mean.
Yes. So it's all very well to want to send your child to prep school. I went to prep school. I loved it. But there comes an additional massive cost to that. And when everyone is feeling the pinch, from whatever class you're in, especially the middle classes and lower classes, we don't say lower classes, the classes below, then they're really, really going to feel the effect of... It's not only the fees, as you were telling me about this yourself.
It's massive. The fees are massive. So for a 4-year-old now to go to a London prep school is about $21,000 a year.
Wow.
Then on top of that, you've got all of these extras, the music lessons, the uniforms, the trips and everything.
Yes,
and I
think additional costs.
What we mustn't forget, many, many kids at private schools are from working class families who scrimp and save their every last penny to give their kids the best chance they can in life. So we're not just talking about really, really wealthy people who really don't care about money. And we've got the prospect of Keir Starmer putting a tax on schools by taking away charitable status.
Well, that's right. So basically imposing VAT on school fees.
Yeah.
Now, and they say this would raise £1.7 billion a year. But the fact is that actually, if you then, and you're right in that, saying that if you are middle class and like your parents wanted you to do well, sent you to prep school, And so you scrimp and save and send you there. But if they are actually then going to impose taxes, many of those people will drop out of that system
and then
go into the state system, which is going to be a bigger burden to the taxpayer.
Yes.
That doesn't make any sense.
Absolutely.
But neither does anything in life at the moment. Because there's like a cycle, and the cycle seems to be just going into something worse or not making complete sense. So
How much of that do you think is Labour Party rhetoric? I mean, this was Corbyn that wanted to do this. Starmer's carried on. I thought actually he was a little more subtle and cleverer than that.
Yes, I do think so. But then Labour don't really have many policies of their own to carry forward. So it's literally a case of let's demonstrate something, because we don't really have much to demonstrate. And I think this is one of those things that they've jumped upon. It's not a great idea.
And on the surface, though, it's a vote winner, isn't it? It looks like, because, take private school. You put tax on private schools because it's the wealthy who are paying.
Take from the rich to give to the poor, that kind of Robin Hood mentality. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you think it'll be in their manifesto?
Probably.
Yes.
Do you think it will?
Probably be the only thing on their manifesto.
That's it. Your manifesto document. That's it.
One line.
Okay, right. Okay, well, obviously you know your mind on that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's going to be interesting. Just in terms, I hadn't really thought about all of that, but there's also a lot talked about the fact that we should really. Sir Graham said that actually we should mean test fees, and the government should subsidise them and give the same amount that you would to a state pupil, and then basically have a system of scholarships so that you have access for those people from more disadvantaged backgrounds.
Although there are lots and lots of scholarships in the private sector.
There are, but here's the thing: if you actually impose VAT, they will take away those scholarships.
Of course, because they can. There's always a knock-on effect, isn't there?
Yeah.
And again, who's suffering here? Kids.
Absolutely. Right, let's move on, shall we, to The Star.
Yeah, let's go to The Star. Let's do something fun.
Okay,
let's do something fun, because there's so much misery in the world. It's a week to Christmas. Hence,
I know.
I don't dress like this normally.
You don't?
I'm sure
you do?
I do, actually, yeah.
So we've had all this cold weather, which has been difficult for some, lovely for others. They're saying that we're due to have a white Christmas, but not down south, up north.
Right.
They always have a white Christmas up north.
They do.
Do they?
It's Scotland, of course they do. It's ski season.
Yes, I know that. But actually, I thought over recent years they hadn't
It's
had that
getting
much
later.
snow. Yeah.
Now, I'm not sure whether this is the Daily Star being slightly exaggerating, but they've said that there'll be a New Year blast of minus 18. I don't believe it.
Minus 18?
We'll be on holiday.
I will be away. Yeah,
but the White Christmas is on the cards in the north as a New Arctic blast sweeps in before next weekend, and other places can face snow.
So isn't it meant to warm up tomorrow or today?
Today.
Or something?
Today it goes up to like a massive 10 degrees.
Ooh.
Get my
get my
t-shirt.
swimwear. Yeah. And so 10 degrees, and then so before next weekend it's then meant to get colder, is it?
Meant to get a little bit colder, cold snap up north, slightly milder down here. It would be nice. I haven't had a white Christmas, I don't think, since I was 5. So we're talking...
How do you know it was 5?
Because it was 1986.
You were 5 in 1986.
I was.
That's deeply depressing.
It is.
And I just remember waking up and seeing a white Christmas, but it hasn't been... how many decades we haven't had a white Christmas?
No, I'd agree with that.
And I want a white Christmas.
So I demand
it.
I want more detail. I demand more detail. Does it mean after Christmas that the south is going to get snow as well?
When it says, after Christmas...
I demand detail.
I demand.
She's really demanding.
She's demanding. We're all demanding.
Yeah.
Apparently there's going to be cold snaps in January and February and March, but then that's not news because it's winter.
And February's always our coldest, quite often our coldest month.
Yes.
So the largest sort of widespread Christmas was White Christmas was 2010. Just to put it in perspective. So it's a long time ago. So 12 years.
The largest widespread...
So the last widespread white Christmas. Gosh, that's a tongue twister. Was in 2010.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course, the sad side of this, as lovely as it would be, the downside is that people will have to use their heating more and incur costs that they really can't afford.
I mean, honestly, in terms of the energy bills, I mean, they're absolutely insane.
Massive.
I just went back and looked at mine. I just thought it's ridiculous for a tiny flat. How is it that much money?
You should work more.
I don't think that's possible. That's why I come to work, actually, because it's warm. It's warm.
People are going to libraries.
I know.
People are sitting in warm places, yeah.
I'm in my first winter in my new flat, so I don't know what the energy bill is supposed to be normally, because I'm just
going to be like a lovely Christmas surprise.
Yes, a lovely Christmas surprise. Like the first one. Yay!
Yeah, exactly. So basically, we may or may not have a white Christmas, depending whether this is true or not true, and whether you live up north. Is that pretty much where we are?
But if you live up north, you're more likely to have a white Christmas
Right.
than down south.
Okay,
so it's like every other average year.
So basically, it's the same story every year.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Fine.
Good,
Well, I liked it
great.
though. That was very good. Right. Do you want to do very quickly? Do you want to do the mirror?
Yes, I can do the mirror because I just want to test your knowledge on the year that was 2022,
Oh my God.
which we're still in. So it's not was, it still is.
It's enough that I get tested on the 3 fascinating facts every weekend.
Queen Elizabeth unfortunately died at 96.
I remember
in
that.
September.
She did.
Where is she buried?
Windsor Chapel.
Is the
So
correct
George-
answer.
Okay.
Back
Phew.
in February, Putin ordered troops to invade the Ukraine. What colours are the Ukrainian flag?
Yellow and blue.
Yellow and blue.
Is the correct answer.
I mean, how embarrassing if we get this wrong.
It would be. Complete the name of the Aussie cricketer who sadly died aged 52.
Shane Warne.
Correct. Can I have time for one more?
Yes. We've got more time for a few more.
Oh, okay. Who overtook Elon Musk as the world's richest man?
The Amazon man.
Oh, Jeff Bezos.
It's not Jeff.
Oh. Ooh. This is like a Christmas game.
David Ball.
He's not one of the
That ain't
options.
true, I can tell you that.
is-
No, I know. Hang on a minute.
Oh, go on.
Is it not Tetra Pak Man? No.
You're just going to get through them all to
Yeah.
get the right answer.
Yeah. No, I know. I saw this yesterday. No, tell us.
Bernard Arnault.
Oh.
And he is...
Oh, I know. HM. He's a Louis Vuitton. Is he Louis Vuitton? Yes.
Wow.
I bet you queue up outside Louis Vuitton.
No, it's
don't
not my
you?
thing.
Okay.
No, is it your thing?
It's not
I
my
can
thing.
see it being your thing.
It's not my thing.
Really?
No.
Definitely not
You look
my
nice
thing.
with it.
Would I?
Yeah.
We'll see. Disgraced MP Matt Hancock appeared in ITV's I'm a Celebrity. Where did he finish in the series?
Should have been in a dustbin.
I don't.
Sorry.
I didn't.
Third.
Third, second.
Third.
Mars announces they are going to remove bars.
Bounty.
I didn't even finish the question. Yes.
Outrageous.
What? Oh, from celebrations.
Yes.
Yes. That's a big mistake.
Big mistake.
I love a bounty. My go-to is the bounty.
Can I tell you, I actually stopped at a garage last night and had a triple.
I always do.
Yes.
Yes.
What, a triple bounty?
Triple bounty. Every time I'm in a petrol station, when I'm buying petrol, I'll buy a triple bounty.
Wow.
Every time.
Do you eat the whole thing?
Yes.
What, in one go?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
I need to get out.
That was my dinner.
Was it? That's terrible.
won't
Right.
go that far.
Should we finish there? In a minute?
Yes.
In a minute.
Yeah.
Lovely. Wow. Triple bounty.
Try it.
I'm really shocked about that. I don't know how you can eat a triple. Anyway, there we go. Right, coming up after the break, we'll go through some more headlines, and I want to know: do you eat a triple bounty? That's the really important message this morning. This is Talk TV.